Good evening, YouTube. Good evening, YouTube. Or should I say Marafiki? Marafiki means people. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this short. I was watching a movie earlier, YouTube. A shout out to the chat, shout out to the chat. Those that are not here will catch the playback. I was watching a movie earlier. It was called Chasing Secrets. Adela Reese is in that movie. And the gentleman that was married to Ruby D. I saw that movie and I thought it was so unfortunate and so sad, but it had a happy ending. And I was like really shocked when I saw it, but I shared it on my community wall. The name of the movie is called Chasing Secrets. Della Reese is in the movie, and a few other people I recognize is in the movie. A shout out to the chat. I'm not going to talk about the movie. I'm not going to talk about the movie because I don't want to spoil it for other people, but I thought it was very, very interesting. And it was sad the way the young girl was being treated. The grandfather tried to get rid of the young girl the night she was born. And usually, in some cases, that's the way certain people, maybe in your family, might feel about you. You would be very surprised. And these people will never tell you. They will go to their grave not telling you anything. Which is going on in my life right now. A lot of my relatives have passed away, and there is still a lot of stuff I don't know. I asked the questions, yes, I did, when they were living, but they didn't want to talk about the past anymore. Now, at first, when I met my grandmother years ago, I remember her telling me certain things that happened when she first got with my grandfather, after she had my father, what it was like for her as being a young woman to work in a factory during World War II. I remember her telling me that. And then as a couple of years had passed on, she got into her feelings. She became embittered because she had 5 children and only one is left. She was embittered because her children were dying off. Uncle Charlie, he died years ago. I never had a chance to meet him. My father died when I was 36 years old. My father was 63 years old. He had lung cancer. My aunt Ernestine, she died because of heart problems. You know what I mean? So they couldn't help that they had passed away, but my grandmother became embittered. She became angry with the world. But instead of lashing out, like maybe the way I would lash out or anyone else would lash out, she held in her anger. She died embittered. She passed away not too long ago, months ago. I think about her every now and then. You know why? Because she had a big impact on me while I was young. Everything was fine until those goddamn adoptions happened. And I'm going to tell you right now, I did not want to be adopted by those people. I kept telling the judge I wanted to live with my parents. And if I couldn't live with my parents, I wanted to live with my grandmother. I was turned down. And that happened a long time ago. But I saw that movie, and if anyone gets a chance, I want you to watch that movie. It's called Chasing Secrets. I want to say either Chasing Secrets or The Secret Pathway. It's one of the two, but I believe it's called Chasing Secrets. It's on my community wall. All you have to do is look up the movie and look at it. You could look at it on any of those other apps that show you TV shows and movies. Yeah, I'm not going to be up here that long. It'll be a waste of time for me to be up here and talk for an hour or 2 hours. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. It'd be a waste of time. But I find it very interesting that lately I've been hearing a lot of YouTube creators talk about the LGBTQ community in disparaging ways. Faggot this, lesbian that, bulldagger this, yag that. I mean, I know I say it too, but it just seems like, and there's certain ones on this app that talk about it. They talk about the homosexual community every fucking day. They ask questions. They're playing videos. They're talking about P. Diddy. What difference does it make? And it seems like people are intrigued by what other people are saying or what other people are doing with their own fucking lives. I find that very interesting. If you're not gay, why are you worrying about what people that are not of your sexual preference? And it seems like a lot of heterosexuals do it. It just seems that like that. Hey, Letitia, thank you for coming. There's certain people on this app, they're not gay. They're married, they got kids, but every time I turn the fuck around, they're talking about the gay community. They're asking questions. There's plenty of people on this app they could actually talk to, but they rather not do that. They rather talk about P. Diddy. They rather talk about all the negative aspects of the gay community. And I'm going to tell you something. At the end of the day, even though the gay community, the LGBTQ community is divided on certain issues and certain concerns, when it comes down to it, they will unite and they will close ranks. And certain YouTubers need to shut the fuck up before their channels get clapped. And trust me, I'm not the only one hearing this rhetoric. You know, I have a brother that's that way. He became a 5%er years ago, got involved with, different religious beliefs, but he's still a 5%er. But he's like a person that's very worried about what gay people are doing in their bedroom. I never saw so many people be worried about who the fuck I'm sleeping with. Does that pay your bills? Does that put food on your table? Is that putting clothes on your back? Is it paying your mortgage? Am I paying your car note? No. So why are you concerned about what I'm doing or what other people are doing? It seems like to me it's a lot of jealousy going on. They want to be sucking pussy. They want to be licking pussy. They want to be bumping pussies. They want to lick assholes. They want to suck dicks. It just seems that way to me. As there are only a few YouTubers in the sector that does that. And I was wondering why. Why do they talk about it every day? There's certain ones, I'm not going to mention their names. You can pretty much figure out who the fuck I'm talking about. There are certain ones on this app that will talk about that shit every day. Oh, y'all, I want y'all to tell me this and let's look at this video and let's talk about P. Diddy, let's talk about Oprah, and let's talk about this one. Is any of that putting money in your real pocket? That little bit of chump change that people give you as cash apps or super chats or super stickers, is that really helping you? Because it seems like there's a whole lot of bitterness. You know, some people say, I don't got nothing against the gay community. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Either somebody in the gay community did something to them or they want to be gay. Shout out to the chat. But I find it very interesting. I'm 51 years old, so I don't really have any time to really worry about what other people are doing in their bedrooms. I don't care. It doesn't pay my bills. It doesn't pay my rent. It doesn't put any money in my wallet. It doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't benefit me to worry about what other people do in their bedrooms. I could care less. I could care less. It is what it is, though. So it looks like it's going to be a long weekend for me. I have to work this weekend. Oh my God, I gotta leave my house early tomorrow morning. Early tomorrow morning, and I won't be back here until late tomorrow night. So I have a lot of things on my mind, and it's not about what other people are doing. I rather talk about that movie. I rather talk about books. I rather talk about the things I'm learning before I shut my eyes forever. Because there's coming a time where, I'm what, 51? I've lived most of my life. And my adult life has been a happy one, whether I was in prison or not. Inmate number 221644. I was locked up for 6 years, 7 months. My judge name was Judge Schuler. He sentenced me to 8 years. I did 6 years, 7 months. I did my time. I paid for my crime. I got out. I maxed out in 2001. August, not August, but October the 1st, 2001. And then I met my original family by the time I was 30 years old. That happened in 2003. Then I moved to New York, back to New York in 2005. And I remained there until 2014. So it is what it is. And I've been in Charleston, South Carolina now since 2017. So I've been here for a while. So I have I have had a wonderful adult life. I'm living my best life, and some people can't stand it. They can't stand it. They hate it. They hate that I'm enjoying myself. And I don't have to surround myself with a bunch of people, with a bunch of nobodies that ain't going to do shit for me, ain't going to benefit my life not one fucking bit. No good to me. They cannot be used. They are useless. They are worthless. They are unimportant. And that's all I gotta say, man. I'd rather look at those movies than rather look at some of these YouTubers. They are disgraceful in this sector. And I'm not talking about Garrick. I'm not talking about TJ. I'm not talking about none of them. I'm talking about the others that I'm not mentioning. I don't have to mention them. They know who they are. Hmm. But the only thing I can do is encourage them to keep doing it because other people of the community are going to hear those videos and they're not going to be happy with you. I don't have to really think too far of why people feel the way they feel, especially, with dealing with the black community. Being black is not easy. Black people have no real love for themselves, no real respect for themselves. They rather tear each other down. That's why I don't know other race like us. The Mexicans don't like us. Oh yeah, there are certain groups of Mexicans that do not like you. There's certain other ethnic groups that do not like you, not because of your black skin, because of the attitude that black people have about each other. No real love. We adopted during slavery and during Jim Crow and during our times of living around those other folks, we have adopted their culture, which is not our culture. And that is why the other ethnic groups don't like us, can't stand us, don't want to be around us. Get locked up and see what I'm saying. There's certain states where the races are separate. White be with white, black be with black, Hispanic be with Hispanic, the Jews be with the Jews. Oh yeah, certain states they separate you by race. And most of those groups enjoy the comfort of being amongst their own kind. That's all I got to say, man. The black community is going down. It's pitiful. It's a pitiful, disgusting story about how we turn on each other. And this shit has been happening way before slavery. Way before you got off them goddamn slave ships, your ancestors were going against each other. They hated each other before they even got on a slave ship. So, of course, they hate everything around them. So, you think I'm lying? Go and talk to the other ethnic groups. I speak a little Spanish, so I'm able to talk with other ethnic groups outside of my community. They simply ask me, hey, you know, Da da da. How you gonna learn that? Practice. Listen. I love music. In my blood is keyboarding. A lot of my keyboarding are. I really that with my people. I have no interest to connect with anyone else before I close my eyes for the last time. And it would be a wonderful thing to slip away while you are asleep and be walking around and just fall over dead. So many people have done that. Great grandma Barbosa, she died at the age of 52 years old. Heart attack in her own kitchen. Aunt Ernestine died of a heart attack in her own home, alone. Nobody knew Aunt Ernestine was dead until they walked back into that house and kept calling for her and calling for her and calling for her, and she never answered them. But I'm going to tell you something. What she did before she left this earth, she had called me personally and told me, Arabia, I'm not going to be here. Thank God we was able to have a good relationship while she was here. My grandmother, we had a good relationship while she was here. Certain people in my family, I had a good relationship while they were here. Now that they're not here, I can only think good of them. You know what I'm saying? Word is bomb. A shout out to the chat. I'm not gonna be up here that long. Matter of fact, I'm closing out the video. Thanks to everyone that came in, because I had a lot of ghost watchers this evening. You have some brave people that actually type in. So shout out to Letitia for typing in. Thank you for coming over. And thanks to my ghost watchers. I told you this is a ghost watching a channel. Let me get some sleep, y'all. I gotta get up early in the morning and get the fuck out of here and get to stepping and get my money. I got a two-step on the dance floor to get my cash apps. To get my super chats, I gotta actually show up on a job. Later, y'all. Thank you for coming in.